way it was meant to be. Mike Scioscia's Anaheim Angels and Tony La Russa's St. Louis Cardinals, the hottest two teams in Major League Baseball, meet for the first time ever, next on Fox Sports Net. Salmon. There are few hotter players in Major League Baseball than this Anaheim outfielder. He's a good one, and he and the Angels are in town tonight. A beautiful night in downtown St. Louis for the first of a three-game set between the Anaheim Angels and the St. Louis Cardinals. It is a wonderful opportunity tonight to continue this fine interleague play. As you look at the matchup, nearly identical records and nearly identical people. Joe Buck and Al Roboski with you here tonight. This is a matchup really of two pitchers who are about at the same spot with their records. You've got two teams who are about at the same spot with their records. You've got Anaheim knocking on the door of first place. The Cardinals finally caught up to first place. Should be a good three-game series.
It should, and I'm glad you're such a front runner. You decided to come back once we got to first place.
Hey, contracts are tough around here, but there are certain things you can write in that when they come true, you pop up.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? I think what really makes us special, too, is Jim Edmonds, because he came over here and kind of, you know, with a tainted reputation when he made the jump from Anaheim to St. Louis. We have just seen excellence from Jim Edmonds. And I was talking to Mike Scioscia and the coaching staff. He never played for them. They traded him during spring training. So they heard the same stories and everything else. So I think we're going to show Jim Edmonds that, you know, St. Louis is very happy to see him.
So he can show all of his old buddies just what he's been talking about all these many years about baseball here in St. Louis. How about the pitching matchup for tonight's game? Two right-handers, two veterans, and the Cardinals are very aware of the Anaheim Angels right-hander, Kevin Apier, who they just faced for the New York Mets.
That's right, and they beat him. They've had him handily. He is also on a losing streak. He's lost his last 4 ball games, but neither one of the starters have beat their opposition tonight.
The other side, the Cardinals have Daryl Kile, and I was watching back at home. You were there in Seattle. Seems to be something missing right now with Daryl Kile, and I don't know if I can put my finger on it.
And that's why Tony La Russa brought him out of that game only in 4 1/3 innings. His, you know, it was the shortest outing of the year for Daryl. He was not right, and they desperately are trying to get him right because without Daryl Kile and his contribution, we don't win.
Well, that's the pitching matchup for tonight's game. We get ready, and we ask you to settle in. Tonight, the Anaheim Angels and the St. Louis Cardinals. Jim Edmonds says hello to some of his old friends. Back with more in a moment. We are still at Busch Stadium and getting ready for the start of this game. We've talked a lot about Jim Edmonds. Here's Dan McLaughlin talking to the Cardinal center fielder.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Well, Jim, going up against Anaheim, I know this is going to be a special night for you, isn't it?
It'll be fun. I think the special night was last night for those guys to come in and get to go to dinner and see them, but the guys that I'm really close with, I see all winter long, so it'll be fun for them to come and play this park and see this atmosphere. I think it's going to be special for them more than it will be for me.
It sounds crazy, but you've been in this league a long, long time. Would you get butterflies over a game like this?
I don't know yet. You know, I mean, I'm just going to go out there and play hard. Hopefully I won't, you know, right now the way I feel, I just play hard, and if I go 0 for 10 or 10 for 10, I think it'll be the same. I just think it'll be exciting for them. I think the thing's going to be for them to come in here and see what this is all about. You know, I know what it's about, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. You know, I just try to make it, I'll downplay it that way, so it'll be easier for me.
Have you told them about this crowd, the atmosphere, and what happens here at Busch?
Oh, yeah, definitely. They know. Troy Gloss obviously has been here in the playoffs, and they all know, and they've all been out here already to see what it's like, so I'm interested to hear what they say after the game.
How about your wrist? How's that feeling?
Doing all right. It's doing all right. Going to be probably a little sore for a couple more days at least, or a week, and I'm just going to play and see what I can do.
Enjoy tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. That is center fielder Jim Edmonds, 4-time Gold Glover. A couple of those Gold Gloves guys with Anaheim. We'll take a timeout. Coming up, it's interleague play here at Busch. The Cardinals play the first of 3 against the Anaheim Angels, and it comes your way next.
Look at that. It's just beautiful here. Mike Scioscia was one of my favorites as a kid growing up. One of the best catchers ever at blocking home plate. I can remember a collision between Scioscia and Jack Clark. I'll remember it to the day I die. Southwest Airlines starting lineup. Here it is. Eckstein, Erstad, Gloss, Anderson, Salmon in the middle. We highlight him. Then Fulmer, Molina, Kennedy, and Kevin Apier pitching and batting ninth. Let's go around the horn. It's brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tino Martinez is back starting at first base after the day off on Sunday. Fernando Vina at second. Across the way, it's Polanco over at third. And the shortstop is Edgar Renteria, who may be headed to the All-Star game. Who knows? Albert Pujols is in left. Jim Edmonds is in center. We hope that J.D. Drew continues to swing the bat better, as he has of late. He's in right. Mike Matheny does the catching. And Daryl Kile is on the mound with his .500 record.
Of the year, so they're really trying to get him straightened out. And started to get more consistent with the curveball. The fastball's been there all the time, but location is not.
7-11. 7-11 on the scoreboard clock. And here is Eckstein, who has hit a couple of walk-off grand slams this year. Over the inside corner. 88 degrees in downtown St. Louis. Eckstein has not struck out in his last 57 plate appearances. And that will continue. Vina, bad throw, safe. Vina a little too relaxed on that play after making the stop and floated the ball over to first base. That's one of the few and rare bad throws we've ever seen Fernando Vina make from that spot.
Went down, but then he comes up. I thought Tino got him on the leg, but Larry Poncino said he did not. But there you see that throw and kind of sails on him a little bit up the line, and couldn't tell if he got him on the foot or not. Look, a lot of players coming out of their annual.
Absolutely. Runner goes. Chance for Matheny. The error is erased. 1-0.
Well, Mike Matheny is so good to throwing, and a few times that they do steal, they're definitely stealing off the pitcher or slow to the plate.
Look at that swing by Erstad, and he flies one into center. And the former Angels center fielder puts it away, 2 out.
He finally got one, right?
He did. They had 51 consecutive stolen bases. Wow. Co-tenants, the Reds, play Seattle. 3-2 pitch, breaking ball, and it's over but low, a 2-out walk. I pointed those guys out to him. They make $10 million a year. The 2-2 pitch. Good pitch, and the inning is over as Kile gets his first strikeout of the night. It started with an error. Matheny took care of that, and after a walk, Anderson strikes out. Bottom of the first, Apier to the hill, no score. The Southwest Airlines starting lineup looks like this. Fernando Vina leads off, then Polanco. You look at the home run hit on Sunday by Drew. He hits third, then Albert Pujols cleans up. Jim Edmonds in center, Tino Martinez at first, then Renteria, Matheny, and Daryl Kile pitching and batting ninth. The Anaheim Angels look like this around the horn, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. They've got Fulmer at first base. Adam Kennedy, former Cardinal, at second. Troy Gloss at third, and David Eckstein is at shortstop. Around the outfield, it's Anderson in left. Darren Erstad is in center, and Tim Salmon is over in right. Molina does the catching, and Apier, an 11-game winner from the National League and the New York Mets a year ago, is on the hill, and he's the other half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup. T5.
Apier had a long time in the American League, so Vina faced him when he was with Kansas City.
Damn sports show period. Vina plunks one into center. That's a good start. Cardinals have their leadoff man on.
Boy, Vina has been outstanding as a leadoff man.
After tonight, and then a trip to Chicago over the weekend. Runner goes, hit and run, go to third, Fernando. Throw to third, Darren. Safe, first and third, nobody out.
Well, that's best friends.
Oh, and I left him off the list. He was the first guy, Bruce Fremming.
He's running on the pitch. Had to make sure he got over the head of Kennedy, and then there was a foot race. Close play there, but throw the off-speed pitches.
With nobody out, and the 1-1 to Drew. That'll get a run home. Salmon puts it away. Both runners tag. Only Vina advances, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Sac fly by J.D. gives him 32 RBIs on the season. Forget the unbalanced schedule and playing teams within your own division. He wants to play teams in the other league. Oh, that hit Pujols on the elbow.
And you could hear that, and I'm sure that arm is numb right now.
Not to say that something can't happen bad with the elbow, but at least you got more of a shot back there.
Yeah, it's the hand injuries, those little fragile bones that break so easily, and ask JD about that.
We'll watch Jim Edmonds stand in with 2 on and only 1 out. You think Jim wants to do anything tonight?
Oh, I think he's trying to downplay it a little bit.
Yeah, well, watch these swings. The answer is no. Edmonds strikes out, and it's up to Tino Martinez. And a good year with Oakland. Martinez gets under it. Back near the track is Salmon, and the Cardinals get only 1. 2 hits, a sac fly, a hit batsman, 2 left. We go to the 2nd inning. Daryl Kile, you've got your run. They don't score many for Kyle. Go get him, DK. First up, hitting .400 this month, the tester for Renteria. Another guy who can hit. Fulmer. 2 pitches, 2 outs. She didn't think so. 3rd pitch of the inning with 2 out, nobody on.
You believe that 210?
Judging by where I weigh in and looking at him, no.
The sinker? Maybe he does want to go sidearm on it. No?
Back to Daryl. 3 ground ball outs, and we go to the bottom of the 2nd. Salmon, Fulmer, Molina. Bottom of inning number 2. It'll be Renteria, Matheny, and Kyle. Cardinals up. The 2-2 to Renteria. There you go. Lead off base hit. You consider where Renteria was in the first half at this time last year to where he is now. He was, at this point last year, driving himself right onto the trading block. Double play ball. Nope. Gets under the glove of Gloss and into left. Gloss was pulled in and had sneaked under his glove for a hit.
Know what he might do, and it'll change on every pitch.
And the bunt is perfect. Apier can't make the play. Everybody's safe and the bases are loaded. It's one of the oldest cliches in a broadcaster's book. But Kyle could not have rolled it out there any better.
Was here for a few days.
Here's a 1-1 pitch with the bases loaded to Vigna. That's pretty well hit into left center field. We'll get a run home. Renteria tags and will score. Another sac fly tonight. The Cardinals lead 2-0.
Sacrifice flies, and they all add up to runs, which produce wins.
They couldn't be swung around more to the right in the outfield for Polanco. The 2-0. A little flare that might drop. Salmon coming on. Won't get there. And everybody able to advance with good base running. The bases are loaded again. Get a run home, and the only out is at first. 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. 3-0 Cardinals on an RBI ground out by Drew. Got out back at Fox Sports Net Central. Mandy, are you listening back there? Look that up for me, please.
Jack Buck could tell us.
I know he could. I think I'm right. 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Be a nice hit. The Cardinals can't come up with it here with 2 out in the 2nd. Shattered back. Adam Kennedy. And the inning is over. So the Cardinals twice load the bases in the inning and come away with a sac fly and an RBI ground out. But the Cards have 3 runs on the board for Kyle. 3-0 after 2. But better than that, my Country Day high school education has failed us. Here in the 2nd inning of Cardinals Angels.
Oh my goodness.
Round 1. A 1-1 pitch. Hard hit. Wow. Caught by Edgar. 1 out. Argument then after the fact to the American League cities that, hey, wasn't that fun watching pitchers hit?
And then you could, you know, let the fans be the true judge of which they like best.
I'd like to know what Dan McLaughlin's doing. Here he is.
Well, Joe, you're talking about the game of the week that you'll be calling this weekend at Wrigley Field, and Al, you were talking about a national story. Well, here it is. Jason Simon-Tachi on the cover of Baseball Weekly of USA Today. And Jason Simon-Tachi, what a story he has become. Still looking for a job at Christmas time on the recommendation of Dave LaPointe, and now he comes to St. Louis. Now, he's worked on 4, 8, and 10 days rest. He'll have extra rest again this weekend. You think success has changed him? No way. Still wears his Independent League Championship ring while pitching for Springfield. Still has that on. And this winter, he said he still plans on living with his parents in California.
On 2-2. That's going to be tough. Base hit. Eckstein is on for the second time tonight. He reached on an error back in the first. Molina means Hill. But unfortunately, Adam, I thought it was Molina. Here's the 2-1. Broken bat should end the inning. And might not, as Pena was not at the bag. The throws goes into the seats. Eckstein will end up at third. Erstad will end up at second on the error. Fernando wasn't there.
I see a ground ball right there, and then he went to throw to second, and he wasn't there, or he's late in covering, and he short hops Martinez, and the ball eludes Tino and goes into the stands. So that's where you get the 2 bases awarded to the hitter.
Pitching to get out of this. Tying runs at the plate. Troy Gloss. Only a matter of time before he busts out of the slump that he's in. 2-2 pitch. Got him on the inside corner. A huge strikeout for Kile. And Daryl gets around another error. A hit, an error, 2 left. And Kile has pitched 3 shutout innings. We go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Edmonds, Martinez, and Renteria. Cards up 3. 8. That Bob Costas is on a cell phone at a baseball game. It's on the record, Bob. We caught you. Sitting right behind Lou Brock.
With a beer. Hey,
See? 3-2. That's well hit into left center field. Got a chance. Edmonds has homered against the Angels. 4-0 St. Louis.
Got hurt. He was leading the club in home runs and RBIs. Pujols had caught up to him and passed him, but this is just Jim Edmonds. You know, he's so dangerous because he'll hit it to all fields.
There's a line drive into right and over the head of Salmon for a double for Tino Martinez. And the Cardinals are getting their whacks against Kevin Apier.
At all. Coming in on a ball, or now this one line drive over his head that he looked off.
Meanwhile, Seattle leads 6-1. The bottom of the 7th at Cincinnati. So this could be a good night. Cardinals and Reds started the night tied for first place in the Central.
He's hit a batter. And he's pitching behind an awful lot.
That's well hit into right field. Salmon back at the wall. It's gone. Home run Renteria. 6-0 as Edgar gets his 3rd of the year.
Just see Edgar with that solid approach of up the middle or out away from him. Out away from him, 3-0 pitch. And he didn't get it, got it more inside. Look at up and over the middle of the plate, and a controlled swing by Edgar, and pays off right on top of the wall.
Homer here in the 3rd. Apier is gone. Renteria sent him away. Lou Pote will take over. Lou Pote is pitching. Lou Brock is down with Dan McLaughlin. Dan?
All right, Joe, thanks a lot. 63 years young is this man, the Hall of Famer Lou Brock. How you doing, sir?
Dan, I'm fine. I feel great. I feel like I'm 39.
How often do you get down to the ballpark these days?
Very often, because I live close by. It's easy to get here and get a chance to see the guys, which I hang out with in spring training every year anyway.
How about the interleague play? Are you a fan of this?
Well, this is incredible. I was just saying to my wife a moment ago that this is certainly interesting because the Angels in St. Louis, and it's not a World Series.
That's what Mike Shannon was saying before the game.
Well, it's fascinating because Jim Edmonds certainly greeted him a moment ago, and I just shared with her that this is the team that he came from. And, of course, this is one of the things that you see in interleague play, and that people get a chance to see people they normally would never see.
How amazed do you get in watching the ball travel off of some of the little guys' bats? I mean, it seems like that ball is flying right and left out of here.
Well, it's incredible. The fact is that they really smashed that ball, and certainly I'm not so sure what the reason, but they really flying out of the ballpark.
Now, I'm going to credit this question to Joe Buck because he's in my ear, and you don't have the luxury of hearing this. So this is all Joe Buck here, Mr. Brock. Did you ever take steroids?
I never heard of it until I got out of baseball.
Now, on a serious note, I know that you being in the Hall of Fame want to wish Mr. Buck, another Hall of Famer, the best of luck and get back here soon.
Well, we certainly do. In fact, we have gone by to see him on a couple of occasions, and we certainly wish him well and the family well, and hopefully that we have him back soon.
Happy birthday, sir. Great job.
Thank you.
You bet. That is Hall of Famer Lou Brock. Joe, that question was credited to you.
I heard. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Lou Pote is on the mound, and Lou and his wife Jackie have been very dear friends, and checking on my dad and checking on my mom, and you know, you see those guys. Lou, here's a 3-2 pitch. Matheny ducks out of the way of a pretty close pitch, but it's ball 4, and there's still nobody out in the inning. Lou is just naturally a raw, strong man. I mean, he's in incredible shape. He was then, he is now, he always will be, and he still looks like he can get out there and play. But you talk about steroids to some of these guys that played back then. They were just, they had other jobs. They were naturally strong people that didn't need the help. Coincidence? Yes. 1 ball, no strikes. Another perfect bunt by Kile. He laid down a beauty for a hit back in the second. This one for a sacrifice, 1-4. Here's a 2-2. That won't advance the runner. Eckstein out to get it. 2 out. It's up to Polanco. Pretty good swing, but got under it, and Erstad will come in to end the third. The Cardinals come up with a homer by Edmonds, a double by Martinez, and a 2-run shot by Renteria. And with all that, the Cardinals lead 6-0 after 3. It'll be in 6 days that'll begin. Here's Garrett Anderson, took a ball from Daryl Kile, and now rips one into right center field. That ball, Mr. Edmonds, you know what to do. 1 out.
And one of the things he wanted to tell everyone was how he moves the defense.
Well, they're letting that happen now in Major League Baseball. As Salmon doubles into left field, he's on with the second hit of the night for the Angels. And I think it'd be great. Had a great year that year.
And you know, if I'm not mistaken, he missed the last 6 weeks of the season, too.
Albert Pujols back to get that drive by Fulmer, 2 out in the Cardinal television broadcast booth. Right? And did I miss anybody?
Sure you did.
Bob Ramsey.
Bob Ramsey.
Rich Gould.
I had Physiak for a couple games. I even did a couple games
Chip
with
Carey.
Joe Myers. Chip Carey.
Runner at second, 2 out, the 1-0 pitch. Molina pops it up, and that'll play. Out is Renteria, in is Pujols, and Albert takes care of it, and the inning is over. So Kile gets around a 1-out double by Salmon. And the Cardinals continue to lead. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 St. Louis.
You know, it was in like in 2 different phases last year.
Up the middle, Adam Kennedy has to hurry, and got through, who was hustling all the way. 1 out.
He's really been on a power surge of late.
That's into left field, but won't carry out. Will it stay in play? It will for Garrett Anderson. 2 out. Our Aflac trivia question: in 1970, Joe Torre led the Cardinals in hitting. Which player led the team in home runs and RBIs? Dick Allen. 34 home runs, 101 RBI. He was a strong man.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. What a play by Adam Kennedy. These two were traded for each other, and Kennedy just took a hit away from Jim Edmonds. Terrific play by the former Cardinal. We go to the fifth, 6-0 St. Louis.
Pledged pinch hitter.
We are. All the
You are.
wives are.
They are.
For the most part.
Is there a ritual that you have to go
No.
through? Is there hazing? Is there
No.
veteran wives throwing stuff at the younger
No,
wives?
nothing like that.
Okay,
Nothing
none of
like
that.
Kennedy is retired as he strikes out. I think that's what happened down there. I'm looking in Marisol right now, and there's one out here in the top of the fifth inning. All right, chance Eli will be there?
Pretty good chance, yeah.
Okay. Now, the fabulous Motown Review will be there and take us through the night as Vigna makes a leaping catch to rob Orlando Palmero, the pinch hitter, 2 out. You can buy tickets to be sold to win a trip for 2 to Cooperstown to see Ozzie get inducted into the Hall of Fame as Eckstein is hit by a pitch. The Cardinals on top, 1 on, 2 out, 2 balls and a strike on Erstad. Darren is 0 for 2, reached on an error, and now he rockets one into right. J.D. Drew, wow, what a catch. That may have looked easy on TV, but watching it from up here, even Marisol Morero's clapping for that one. Line drive, and Kile helped out by Drew. Halfway through it, 6-0 Cardinals. Martinez hits it pretty well to center, and Erstad on the track. Oop. Ball 4 was almost hit by pitch. It's 1 on, 1 out.
Of course, Kent had the rotator cuff surgery, was hoping to try and make a comeback. Was not going to be able to pitch until June, but
this ball might drop. Good play by Kennedy. 2 out.
Bottenfield's career appears to be over. The responsibility of tomorrow night's starter.
That's Gloss. That's the end of the fifth. Kile is retired, and we go to the sixth. Daryl will go back to work. 6-0 St. Louis. He pitched around an error by Rennery in the third, and a nice running catch and the top of the fifth by Drew. Tough play. Polanco, good play, 1 out. And there's more help from his defense.
Boy, that was a nice play and a very difficult one. To right himself and throw out a runner.
And Ed Rapuano
is in pain. Being hit. But look where his hand is, not behind the back, and gets it right on the elbow.
Oh. And so Brad Henderson's going to come out, try to freeze it with that spray. And then yank it.
Nope.
Nope. On the inside corner, and Anderson gets rung up. Strikeout number 5 for Daryl Kile. 2 out, nobody on. Salmon, who has a double, breaks his bat, and Renteria stays with a tricky hop, and the inning is over. So Daryl Kile is turning in one of, if not his best of the season. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's 6-0 St. Louis. And Shields. Vigna, left center field. Erstad, 1 out.
Well, you know, I went out with Tony and some of the coaches to his golf tournament, and a couple of them had talked to.
Fly. And an RBI ground out. That's ball 4, and Albert will bat. Runner at first, 2 out. I can find a place for that.
And Tim Garcia right in the middle of it.
All there.
Always.
And a base hit for Albert. His first of the night. On base for the second time. Balls, 2 strikes on Edmonds. Cardinals lead 6-0 in the sixth. Edmonds strikes out, but he can run. He doesn't run. And the inning comes to a close. That wasn't good. Some in the crowd boo. Edmonds, had he realized where the ball was, could have made it down to first. Didn't. And the inning ends. Still 6-0 after 6.
Thing that Jim Edmonds wanted to show his former teammates or his former fans.
Yeah, that's true. Isn't that the truth? Here's Fulmer. And there's a line drive into center. This is what he wants to show him. Edmonds ends up with a dive at the end. And there's one out.
Is today, and how much perspiration on his uniform, as he got this thing pretty muddy. Makes the catch, and then a little loses balance and dives. Don't want to get too close to that wall because it's padded up top, but not there on the bottom where his head almost went to.
Yeah, you know,
we should be able to show you that one. Here's a 12-6 curveball. You see how important the middle finger is in catching that seam, and also the thumb underneath.
Good fastball, comebacker, and Kile throws his two-seam fastball over to first for the out, 2 out. Mode that you go in.
Oh, absolutely nothing. Brand new one. He's got Daryl Kile on it and everything.
Into center field, Edmonds back to get it, and the inning is over. So Kyle still doing his thing. The Cardinals still lead it 6-0. Work. Pitcher spot due to lead off in the 8th. Martinez drives one to right center, and that'll hang up for Erstad. 1 out.
From big Cardinal fan. And
reaching for it, clunked it out to left, and Eckstein goes to get it. 2 out.
I think the only thing that would have made Joe's night is if he would have had a chance to reach your dad.
Mike Matheny, who's 1 for 2 tonight and hitting .238. He is 1 for 3 tonight. And we go to the 8th. Cardinals go in order. The relief work, Pote and Shields have been good for Anaheim. That's the good news for them. The bad news, the Cardinals lead 6-0 into the 8th. All right, Dan, thanks. It's Benji Gill at the plate, marking the second Benji who's in the lineup for the Angels. There's Edmonds right on cue. Go get it. He can. It's over his head and up against the wall. And Benji Gill is on with a pinch hit leadoff double. But don't start throwing it in the Cardinal bullpen. 96 pitches on the night for Kyle. Anderson, Salmon, Fulmer. They can come at you left, right yet. That's a good play by Polanco. Playing in to guard against the bunt, and he recovers to make that play. Boy, is he a vacuum over there. 1 out.
A kicker or punter on Nebraska?
That I don't know. 1-2 pitch. That might put Anaheim on the board. Edmonds has a chance. Gill coming to the plate. Good play by Kyle to back up, and Gill scores on the hit by Erstad at 6-1.
Jimmy has not the strongest arm. It's definitely strong enough, but it's one of the most accurate throwing arms, and kind of submarines a little bit on Matheny, so it gets by him. Where we've seen Mike make some terrific plays and blocking the plate, but unable to catch it. And you're right about Kyle backing up the play. Has been asked to participate in the Futures game at the All-Star weekend.
That's into center field, and Edmonds will go get it. No word as to whether Jimmy Jernell will balk at that opportunity and throw in with John Burkett.
10 on the lost side.
Anderson, base hit to right. Ball just jumped off his bat. It's first and second with 2 out. Look as Steckschulte will face him for the first time, and Daryl Kile should receive a nice hand. Another strong start.
Man, it can make it a lot closer. Gene's done a wonderful job. See the 6 wins out of the bullpen. 28 innings, only 21 hits allowed. Do is sit and watch, but much better than his last outing. And I mean, it's been a while since he's thrown that many pitches. About 107 pitches.
That's into shallow center. Out is Vigna. He wants it. Good work by Steckschulte. Ran it to 3-1. Came back and into the inning. And that might be the last big threat for the Angels tonight.
A career .368 batter at Busch Stadium. A .398 batter against left-handed pitching.
Cairo hits one up the middle. He's on with a base hit. Adds to his .240 average. Once he's driven in a run, has 31 RBIs, and he slaps one down the left field line fair. Into the corner, and Cairo will turn it on.
He'll score all the way from first base on a double by Vigna. It's 7-1.
Go in and dig it out, so Cairo is able to go off to the races, picks up Oquendo, and Oquendo had an easy decision to send him home.
2. Loss. 1. That's the case, and it's at least another one that got past Molina. He's had a rough night behind the plate. Here's a 3-1. Drew pops it into left center field, and Erstad will take it. 2 out. Vigna tags and will go to third. He's there for Albert Pujols.
Walk-up crowd was huge.
First and third with 2 out. Runners at first and third, 2 out. Here's a 2-1. Diving stop Fulmer. Robbed the Cardinals of a hit, a run, and Edmonds makes the final out here in the 8th. It appears that Isringhausen will reappear for the Cardinals as we go to the 9th. 7-1 St. Louis. Polanco to his left, one of 2 very good plays tonight. And Jim Edmonds, one of 2 very good plays tonight as he made the dive out into left center field. That was back in the 7th. And here is Jason Isringhausen and Al Raboski. It's great to see him back on the mound.
Absolutely. It's been quite a while for Jason. He last pitched on June the 4th. Spo picked it up. He was 12 for 12 in save opportunity since his lone blown save on April 26th, Montreal.
Hard hit. He did get around at a 95-mile-an-hour pitch, and Drew will dig it out eventually. Fulmer will at least end up at third.
Well, probably another error, as he had trouble with it. He had a long run to come over there. He's going to get this one, though.
And Fulmer tags, comes to the plate. It's a 7-2 game, but more importantly, out number 1 here in the 9th inning. Sac fly by Molina. You look fantastic.
Oh,
kind of
you know how I take good care of myself.
Here's a 1-2 pitch to Kennedy with 1 out, nobody on. Diving stop Polanco. Another good defensive play. Placido's made 3 tonight, 2 out. 3-2 pitch. Should end it. Vigna. Cardinals win another. They're in first place all alone. 1 game in front of Cincinnati. And the final score, 7-2 over the Angels. We'll be right back with a complete post-game report. Now it's time for the Midwest Sports Report. Let's send it to the studio. So
for their 4th consecutive win, Daryl Kile goes to the mound, and Kile pitched a very strong game. Went 7 2/3 innings in the game, struck out 5, gave up just 6 hits and 1 earned run, and got himself out of a jam in the 3rd inning as well. Then he got some offensive help from ex-Anaheim Angel Jim Edmonds. Edmonds blasts his 13th home run of the season, came in the 3rd inning off of Kevin Appier, who got pounded for 6 runs in 2 innings pitched. And the Cardinals go on to win. Final score was 7-2. Jason Isringhausen appears in his first game since June 4th. So all the way down the line, good news for the Cardinals. Isringhausen did give up a run, but